Good afternoon, basketball fans. Welcome to today's game at East Pennsboro Middle School. Today's game pits Bryant and Stratton against your Central Penn College Knights. The USCAA and Central Penn College promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial and ethnic comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. And now, here are the starting lineups for today's game. First, the visiting team, Bryant and Stratton. Number 1, Tasia Goodman. Number 10, Zaire Hartfield. Number 11, Ashlyn Johnson. Number 20, Triana Bledman. And number 21, Jada White. The head coach is Brittany Perry. And now, for your Central Penn Knights, number 0, Ashante Amos. Number 1, Ahnae Robinson. Number 4, Sydney Flash Green. Number 11, Sydney Bug. Number 23, Allison Yoder. And the head coach of your Central Penn Knights is Stasia King. And now we ask everyone to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome here for the Nightly News Media Club. We're here covering Bryant and Stratton Buffalo taking on your beloved Central Penn Lady Knights. Paul Miller, Dalton Koller here for the call of this game this afternoon. If you're out there viewing, you can still join us. We're the first game of a doubleheader, of which the men's game will tip off approximately 7 o'clock, though dependent on how long this game takes. The Knights come in today with sort of a backward sort of situation here, Dalton, in that they are 0-3 at home, but 4-0 on the road. What do you think could possibly contribute to that?
I spoke with Coach King about this, and she said the main reason why, when they're at home, I don't know why, it's just necessarily not to do with the fact that they're at home, it just seems like things don't go their way when they're at home. And they said she said the big reason why is because we're just not playing aggressive enough on defense. That's going to be one of the main factors that she told me before the game, is that we need to play key solid defense, keep the pressure on at all times. And another key, talk about getting offensive rebounds and crashing the board is something that's going to be very, very key. Once again, it seems like every single time we cover a game, the Knights are a little undersized compared to the other team, but they're going to have to use their speed to their ability to hopefully come out with a win here today.
Well, there's no question about that. I mean, I think in most games this season, we're probably going to be a little undersized. I mean, our best player, or excuse me, our tallest player is about 5'7", so it's understandable that the Knights are probably most times going to be a little undersized. However, if you know that going in, you should be able to adjust to that, and I'm sure that that's what Coach Kim has been working on. Second thing that I wanted to talk to you about as we get ready to kick off this game here is the press. One of the things that we talked about in our sports broadcasting class analyzing this team is they've been really tough trying to play against the press. It hasn't gone well for them. Lots of turnovers, quick shots, the press that they've not been able to master. What do you think the keys are for them today in order to do that?
Yes, I also spoke with Coach King about this before the game, and she said the key to this is just having someone in the middle, or having even one or two people in the middle to receive that pass on the inbound, or not leaving the person receiving the inbound all alone, causing either a turnover, just throw it directly to a defender, or throw it out of bounds. They're going to really try and make sure they have someone that can move the ball up the court from the middle of the court and just get a lot of ball movement so they can beat that press.
By that rationale though, Dalton, speed should be key here. If they're a faster team, they should be able to break that press, you would think, right?
Yes, that's absolutely very key. You usually want to have someone like either one of your point guard or your shooting guard, or most of the times they're your faster players, so you want to have someone like that in the middle of the court, receive that pass, take it down the court, get it to some of your bigger players who are going to be, around the basket receiving, ready for that layup.
We will have a post-game interview with our Knights Nightly News Player of the Game after the game today from both our men's and women's, but it looks like we are about ready to tip off here from East Penn Middle School. Again, if you're out there watching, come on down. Free entry. We got a doubleheader going on tonight. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon and evening of basketball here in this USCAA contest. Again, after getting off to a 4-1 start here, Dalton, and winning the PSU Scranton tip-off tournament, the Knights have dropped 2 straight and 3 of 4.
Yeah, I will say, though, Penn State, Lehigh Valley, and Berkeley, 2 very, very solid opponents.
Absolutely don't want to take anything away from the Knights. And one thing coming into this game, Bryant and Stratton is 4-3, including winning 3 of their last 4 contests after starting the season 0-3, including victories versus Penn State Beaver, Cheney, and Monroe Community College.
Yes, and we know Penn State Beaver to be a very solid team in the women's division, so safe to say that the Knights are going to have their hands full tonight with Bryant and Stratton.
21, White McConnell, 1, Goodman, number 10, Hartfield, and the shot too far, number 20, Blendman picks it up, and inside in the paint, Johnson can't get it to go, Robinson the rebound. Glove passes on the shot inside to Yoder, can't quite get that one to go, and so far, a couple of shots, no baskets.
Well, I already like what I'm seeing so far. A lot better ball movement there from the Lady Knights than we've been seeing in the past couple of games.
And Bob comes up with the steal and taking it all the way, trying to go left. And no foul on that. Good play, though, by Bob. Very aggressive. So that was one of the things we were talking about on Sunday, too, Dalton. It almost looked like the Lady Knights were trying to make one too many passes. And here we have Bub taking it straight to the rack.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're trying to make too many passes, you can oftentimes get lost and get caught up. You'll have players going for the same ball. You just get crossed up and miscommunication. That's when usually that stuff happens. It leads to turnovers. So just making smart passes, not so much quality over quantity passes is what we're going to be looking for here.
Green looking for the inbound. Bub comes up with it and takes it baseline. They get it for a travel. And that's one thing the Knights do not want to get in the habit of doing, turning the ball over.
Yeah, that's been one of their main killers these past couple of games. They turned over the ball at an extreme amount, and if they want to have any chance of winning, they need to get those numbers down.
Bryant and Stratton from Buffalo. Have you ever been to Buffalo, Dalton?
I have not. I have been to Cooperstown, New York. That's the closest I've been to Buffalo.
It's still a hike from there, but yes, Cooperstown's awesome too. Love it. Trying to make the play to Ahnae. Robinson does get the foul call, doesn't get the basket to go. Looks like the Knights are a little thin, only 8 players dressed this evening. Kayla Thomas, the player of the game from Sunday, had a 12-point, I believe 8-assist effort. So she had definitely played well.
Yeah, she's definitely been one of the more dynamic key players for the Knights this year.
Thomas averaging 7.3 on the season, but will be coming off the bench here at some point. Robinson leads the team in scoring just in front of Allison Yoder with 12.5 a game, as Yoder averages 12.2. The good thing about Robinson is, though, and Coach King made this point, and there's going to be a break up to Robinson, and it goes. Talked to Coach King about this exact thing. Robinson, even though playing point guard, is often asked to guard some of the taller members, not necessarily because of her own size, but because of her speed and agility and aggressive defense.
Yeah, I definitely would say she's one of the more active players on defense, not just guarding players, but also getting rebounds. As you just saw, she got another rebound right there.
Amos comes up with it, and looking for Bub. Bub the drive, and the floater. Can't quite get that one to go. But those are the kind of shots you want to get there, though.
Yes, they definitely are. But as you get a little bit deeper in this game, those shots will hopefully start to fall.
You made a really good point. The luck just hasn't been on the Knights' side. Tough inbound pass there. And Bub can't quite come up with it. Johnson takes it down the floor. From downtown, Lenman, no good. Bub, the rebound. Amos almost wasn't paying attention there. Bryant and Stratton animated on the bench.
Trying to get in this Knights offense's head.
Green had triple coverage there. Amos, luckily enough, was able to throw it off of a Bryant and Stratton player.
It seems like Bryant Stratton is running a 2-3 zone here to begin, trying to force the Knights to shoot the 3 ball, as, I mean, the Knights so far to begin this year have not been the best with shooting 3 points. So they're definitely trying to force some shots on the perimeter.
Knights really having some trouble inbounding the ball. Now you got a 3-on-2 here. And that's going to go down every time. Number 11, Ashlyn Johnson with the basket. Really struggling inbounding the ball there in their own end.
Yeah, and I will say one thing that I'm noticing on the defensive side for the Lady Knights, the Bryant Stratton's had a lot of open looks. That's the first time they've actually got points on the board, so they need to, try and limit that. Just try and get pressure, get hands in the face, and not let up so many open looks.
Yoder takes it baseline, and Bub gets called for the over the back. One foul on each side thus far in the first. 6:52 left. Knights lead 3-2. Yeah, we had Brian Christiana and Tyler Coleman, 2 Nightly News Hall of Famers, calling the game on Sunday. I was on production duty. Johnson gets a good shot there in the middle of that 2-3 zone. 5 people around her, but no one in her face.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think it might have been a little bit of miscommunications there. It's kind of just not sure who was supposed to be getting her face, or I don't know what. Not quite sure what happened there.
Almost the 3. Big offensive rebound for Yoder inside the green. And they're going to go for travel. That's twice Thomas was open from downtown and no one saw her.
Yeah, but I do like what I see there, getting that offensive rebound. That's kind of a, one thing we've been noticing in these games is that the other team has severely out offensive rebound in them, but right now the Knights are still getting their fair share of offensive rebounds. Something I like to say.
Knights trail by 1 early on. Goodman the floater, Thomas the rebound. Gonna get a foul call there on number 1, Goodman.
Yeah, Goodman there just a little bit too overzealous on Kayla Thomas, trying to get up on her, put pressure on her a little bit too much there. She gets called for the foul.
Thomas to Amos. looking to get Green involved. Bub for three. Can't quite get that one to go.
Yeah, it seemed like Bub was a little bit hesitant to shoot that three, and I think that's why that was ended up being a miss.
Put it on the floor in the floater. That was a heck of a shot. It's going to stay Bryant and Stratton ball. Bryant and Stratton, one thing I learned yesterday, they have campuses all over the United States in 4 different states. I always just thought it was sort of a New York-based institution, but that is not the case.
I was definitely under the same impression as well, but you and me both, we both learned something new yesterday.
One interesting thing, the Valen Cup was also something that we found out about, that all the different Bryant and Stratton, it's like a tournament for their branch colleges.
Yeah, it's almost sort of like what Penn State branches do for their colleges as well.
Coast to coast, Glenman, the bucket, and the Knights find themselves in a hole early, 6-3 with 5:11 left to go here in the first quarter. Hey, Central Penn fans, rest easy knowing the experts at Select Physical Therapy are on the sidelines ready to help you and your team in times of need. With convenient locations nearby, getting back in the action is close to home. Go to selectphysicaltherapy.com to find a location near you and start your journey to recovery. Go Knights! So far, the Knights have looked pretty good, but unfortunately haven't gotten some open baskets to fall. A couple of turnovers here, and some issues inbounding the ball in their own end.
Yes, but I will say one thing that seems like Coach King's game plan is actually, it seems like players are following the game plan pretty well. I mean, they're getting aggressive. They're crashing the basket, and they're trying to get down into the, onto the baseline to try and get some buckets. So I like how aggressive this Knights team is playing so far.
Thomas, the three, no good. We see Robinson and Thomas on the floor at the same time. This is the one thing I haven't seen from them this season, really at all.
I think there might have been one time when we had the first game that we were covering over at the high school. I think at one point, Ahnae and Thomas were on the same court. But as soon as I say that, Kayla Thomas comes off the court.
I'm curious why maybe they don't do that a little bit more.
I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's the fact that you don't really want to run 2 point guards out there at once. I guess that's kind of the reasoning there.
Green.
And I think Green there was sensing that she was having some hands on her. She was trying to draw a foul and just put something up there, but she did not get the call.
I thought that's what happened, but apparently it was a call off the ball. Knights trail by 3 early. Make it 5. 8-3. Knights trail, 4:26 left here in the first. This almost seems like a very important possession very early in this game.
It definitely is.
They just cannot get it inside on that 2-3 zone.
No, they cannot.
And he tosses out of bounds, does Yoder.
And that's what the 2-3 zone does. It limits you from getting inside, because if you try to get someone, even with bigger size, to get in there, there are going to be 3 people on it. And I'm sorry, there's not any person on either team that will be able to do that tonight. So they're trying to force us to shoot more threes, and they know it's been one of our weaknesses. So right now, that's the reason why we only have 3 points on the board so far.
And really only 1 basket because there was a free throw. And inside, turns it over, Flash gets it, and it's a 3-on-1, Amos gets the call. I almost wonder if you would have dished behind you. She had 2 people trailing.
Yeah, I think so, but I mean, still headed to the free throw line to get 2 points, so if she makes both of these, hopefully it won't make a difference.
Amos has not attempted a free throw this year. And 1 for 1. Can't quite get the second, and Flash almost came up with it. Knights keep the ball though. That was a huge rebound.
That definitely was. Keep the ball down on your side of the court, and if you can either just get 2 points, it goes. That's a 5-point swing right there. You're only down 2.
Number 24, Ism checks in, second on the team in points this season, third. Surprise, didn't start. Looking for Green. And back to Amos, still 20 seconds on the shot clock. And throws it out of bounds for another Knights turnover.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing you can't have happen there. Bub was, open there in the corner, going to be looking for a wide open 3, and just a little bit of an errant pass there from Amos, unfortunately leads to another turnover.
Good ball movement on the outside for Bryant and Stratton. From way downtown, can't quite get it to go, but Ism the rebound. Can you call that a jump ball? Looks like they get Central Penn for a foul. One ref called a jump ball, the other called a foul. Wonder what happens in that situation, how one overrules the other.
I think the foul, obviously, I think now that Ism is going to the free throw line, I think the foul does overrule that.
Ism only 42% on the year, 32 of 76 from the line. Shot clock issue there. 11-4. Knights trail early by 7 with 3:13 left here in the first quarter. Another very important possession here early as Yoder takes the seat. Swinton comes in. Nice give and go there. Robinson sinks it. Nice to see Robinson make that first shot. Hopefully that'll get her going.
Yeah, it was very good ball movement there by the Knights. Set up that mid-range shot for Robinson. She makes the shot.
Again, good ball movement here on the outside. Inside to Ism. And I like how they brought Swinton in to match up against Ism. Wide open 3 ball. Can't get it to go, and Robinson another rebound. Inside to Green. Can't get it to go. Comes up just a little short. What a pass, though. Roberts. Goodman puts it on the floor. What an effort. And Bub comes up with the rebound. Going the other way. He's going to get a blocking foul on Johnson.
Very good exchanges there from both defenses, just limiting anything to get open there and obviously limiting the basket. So very good job there by both defenses.
Curious to see how only 8 for the Knights impacts them later in the game, especially if there's foul trouble. There hasn't been to this point.
That definitely could, and if it's either Swinton or Yoder, 2 of the bigger players, if they get into some foul trouble, that will definitely be a problem, because then you'll only have one of your bigger bodies out there to match up with Ism for the rest of the game.
Robinson over Ism. And they're going to run it. And take it right to the rack. Bub tries to save it, throws it right to Johnson. Can't quite get that one to go. And Robinson the rebound. We're going to get Ism on the call there. That's 5 fouls already, so that'll send Bub to the line. On the season, Bub is shooting 66% from the line. Misses the first. Sinks the second. It's like Giles in right now, number 0. Looking for Giles in the corner there. They call a 3-second violation. It's not one you see much.
It's definitely not, but it can happen if you're just not paying attention to where you are on the court. Lack of spatial awareness there leads to a turnover, and the Knights get the ball back.
I would say it's probably just not called much at this level.
It definitely is not.
Amos does come up with the ball. They do call a jump. Looks like it will be Knights ball. Trailing by 4 here with 1:29 left. Low scoring game thus far.
Yeah, it's definitely been a defensive display here from both teams.
Now are they still going to struggle here? And they do. That's like 3 turnovers, and you got him at the outlet pass to Willis, who missed, but they don't even get the rebound. Those are the tough ones, when you get the person on the break to miss the shot and you have no one there for the rebound.
Yeah, especially when you have 2 people that were sitting under the rim for the rebound and neither of them can get it. Definitely frustrating for a team.
Robinson, what a shot. It's like that's a 3 ball. Very impressive. Robinson started hot. Going inside to Ism. That's going to be an offensive foul. That's already 2 on Ism, and that's a big deal for the Knights.
That is a huge deal for the Knights. He's definitely the tallest person on the court. So if we could try to get her in some foul trouble, that size advantage not necessarily goes away, but it'll definitely go back towards the Knights side a little bit more.
2 quick fouls on Ism, and Ism definitely made her mark on this game, but can't do much if you're on the bench. I want to see Green getting more involved in this game. She's playing in the low post, and it's so tough on that 2-3 zone. But one of our strongest players, Amos, the pull-up jumper, gets it to go. And the Knights trail by 2 with 35 seconds left. They will get one more opportunity. And I will say that Bryant and Stratton's done a good job at breaking that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, they definitely have. They've been swinging the ball a lot, moving it out into the perimeter and back into the paint and back out to the perimeter, just trying to find something that's open. They've gotten a very good job moving the ball for Bryant and Stratton.
Get a push on Bryant Stratton on number 21, White McConnell. That'll send Robinson to the line to bring this to within 2. 15-11 with 10.7 remaining here in the first. And sinks the first. Can't quite get the second to go. White McConnell gonna get the foul call there and go to the line to shoot 2. Definitely Ahnae Robinson, nice addition. Didn't play Sunday. Nice addition to the game. Started off hot.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that the Knights need. An offensive weapon at the level of Robinson. And just, even if we get down a little bit, you need to have someone like that that can just go and get you an easy bucket and get your offensive momentum built back up.
Of course, you can always go to centralpennknights.com. Check out the live stats. Going to be one more shot here. Amos has to put it up. Doesn't get it off, but doesn't fall. And the Knights get out of the first quarter trailing only by 4 when they trailed by as many as 7, 16-12. Just taking a look at some of that live scoring again. You can always go to centralpennknights.com for live scores and live stats of all of our games. For the Knights, Ahnae Robinson, just as we said, 8 points in the first quarter here, 3 of 4 from the field and 2 of 4 from the line. Amos hit that big shot earlier and also added a free throw with 3, and Bub checked in with 1. Yoder held off the score sheet. Bryant and Stratton. Ashlyn Johnson leads the way with 6 on 3 of 9 from the floor, followed by White McConnell and Ism, both with 3. White McConnell did pick up 4 rebounds, and Goodman 3 assists. While for the Knights, Bub picked up 3 rebounds, and as did Ahnae Robinson. So 8 points, 3 rebounds for Robinson in the first.
Yeah, she's definitely been a force for the Knights here early. Definitely been off to a very good start.
Don't forget the CPC Health Center is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. in Super Suite 127. And the best thing, no appointment is needed. Just stop by any time the Health Center is operating. Back here in the second quarter, Giles from downtown can't get it to go. Yoder the rebound. Robinson puts it on the floor and takes it right to the rack. What a play, Ahnae Robinson.
She is definitely taking over right now, definitely on a roll.
And that's exactly what we needed if we want to stay in this contest right now.
For sure.
And Flash with the steal. I would recommend slowing it up and getting the offense in order. Now you see nobody down in that 2-3 zone, and I think that's how the Knights should play, to be honest with you. The give and go there to Robinson. Bryant and Stratton comes up with it. Knights come up with the possession. And there's been 2 consecutive turnovers on inbounds on their own end. They got to try to run a play here. There's almost 3 consecutive turnovers. They're doing the same thing every time. They have to try something different. Run a back pick or something like that to get somebody open.
Yeah, definitely, because every single time they've been inbounding, they've been trying to get someone under the basket on the baseline to try and dish it into, and it's been swatted every single time. So you need to have someone on the perimeter to catch an inbound.
Another turnover.
Even when I say that, they had an eye to get the inbound pass on the perimeter, and it was still intercepted. So, I don't know.
Officials are talking about what's going on here. It looked like out of bounds on Robinson, and that's what they ultimately decide. Definitely a point of weakness here. It's 3 consecutive turnovers on inbounds on that side. Do you think it's worth calling a timeout to get the inbound to move?
I think it might, because I'm not quite sure why they're just struggling so much. It just seems like every single time they're trying to inbound, they have like 3 people there on the one person that's going to be catching the inbound.
Green comes up empty on the shot. Giles to Johnson, and that goes. Yeah. Blendman on that one.
Yeah, they've been having a lot of open looks from 3, and if they start to make their shots, they're definitely going to be putting the Knights in a hole.
Robinson goes to the basket, can't get it to go. And it'll be Bryant and Stratton ball. 19-14, Knights trail by 5 with 8:28 left here in the second. Johnson puts it up. Yoder the rebound. Big rebound there. Amos to Robinson. And Robinson takes it right in. Tries the pass. And Yoder cleans up the mess.
Very good hustle play there by Yoder to go get that rebound. Have a wide open lane.
Double dribble. A turnover. Dalton, again, I know that you've been calling these games alongside me here for the women's team this year. It's hard to argue Allison Yoder being the MVP of the season to this point, at least from the games that we've seen.
Yeah, she's always been someone that's just very aggressive, always showing effort, both on the offensive and defensive side. She's obviously been performing very well as well. She's just been a really, really key player for the Knights. She's someone that's incoming already, showing her presence on the team.
And as we say that, unfortunately, she turns it over. And the foul there as Willis takes the 2. Willis averaging 8 points a game.
I think I should stop giving our players credit during the play, because it seems like every single time they do, something bad happens with that player.
Willis averaging 3 steals per game on the season, which is highly impressive. It's a long way from Buffalo. I would imagine the trip would have been at least 5 hours.
Yeah. Also heard there was some traffic on 83 earlier, so I could imagine that definitely would not help.
I thought they were coming that way. Swinton, the shot comes up empty. Roberts, the rebound all the way up. And Swinton comes up with it and throws it off the back, off the rim. So another turnover.
And I think that right there was just trying to rush the ball and trying to, not really being aware of where she was on the court, and that forced a turnover for the Knights.
And Johnson, the turnaround jumper, Knights trail by 8.
That's the sort of thing that's been happening to the Knights this year that have just been kind of their crux. Just unfortunate turnovers and unfortunate events that happen to them that lead to their demise.
Green has really struggled from the floor. Looks like we're going to get 3 subs. And in fact, this is Bub's first time off the floor, as is Amos. Yoder had a seat for a minute earlier, but Green remains. Inside to Johnson, they're going to get the foul. Inbound of Millington, the senior. They're going to get a double dribble there on Johnson. As great as Johnson's been, averaging 2 turnovers per game. 3rd on the team.
This is definitely going to be, I know we said it a couple times, but this is definitely going to be a big possession here for the Knights. Need to get something going.
And turn it over again nearly. Thomas comes up with it. Call a jump ball, but it's going to be Bryant and Stratton possession. (24-16). Knights trail by 8. 6:25 left in the first. We're going to get another 3-second call on Bryant Stratton.
Yeah, these refs are definitely looking for that tonight. So definitely going to have to be aware of where you are on the court at all times.
Maybe to those who may be new to the game, tell us what a 3-second violation is.
So a 3-second violation is basically when you just, on the offensive side, and you have someone sitting inside that box for 3 seconds or more. If you do that, you get called for a 3-second violation, and it's a turnover.
Green continues to struggle from the floor.
And I'm not quite sure if she's trying to force up shots or I'm not quite sure what's going on, but she's definitely off to a slow start. She's definitely going to need to get it going here.
Goodman from downtown. And the Knights trail by, they're going to give that a 2. That's 10-point deficit for the Knights, the largest lead of the game. And Robinson, a turnover. Bub and Yoder check back in. Thomas takes a seat, as does Swinton.
And again, when you're down by as much as you are, now down 10, those turnovers, that even though when it's a closer game, they're definitely frustrating, but it's not the end of the world. When you're down this much, you're trying to get back in the game. Every turnover and every single time you give them the ball back, it just is magnified by 10.
They do escape points here on that possession. And Robinson, the screen from Yoder. Good shot, and Gabryelle. The rebound, and Bob for 3.
Very nice shot there from Bob.
That was way downtown. And that's what the Knights needed. And what a shot by number 2, Sage Roberts.
They respond right back with another deep shot of their own. Not a 3-point, but still a very nice shot there.
Dalton Sage Roberts only 7 of 41 on the season from downtown, but does come up with that one. I mean, that's a situation we want her to be in.
Definitely.
Knights trail by 9, 28-19. Can they escape this rash of turnovers? No, they cannot. They've got to figure something out on this inbound.
I don't know if it's whether you need to get someone out on the perimeter, even someone out with the free throw line. They're just trying to inbound it into someone on the baseline every time, and it's just getting blocked.
And they do find Yoder, and Yoder will go to the line to shoot 2.
And that's what they've been looking for on that inbound plane every single time. They're trying to get someone to either to Yoder or Swinton when she's on the court, trying to get it to one of those people under the rim so they can just grab it, put a layup right up. And that right there, we get called for the foul. So either way, we'll take it.
I mean, usually on that side, that should be to your advantage because you're so close to the basket. It's been the opposite for the Knights thus far. And Yoder cannot connect. Yoder misses them both. Great hustle there by Buck. Does knock it out of bounds. It will remain Bryant and Stratton ball.
Nice defensive stop there, and that's sort of the thing the Knights are going to need to do if they want to get back into this game.
Roberts will inbound. Good ball movement there from downtown Anderson. And Green, the rebound. Amos, the floater. A little off, and Yoder the putback.
Again, that's something that's going to need to be on the Knights side tonight is the offensive rebounds. Those second chance opportunities to get points on the board. It's going to be massive if they want to win this game.
Three Knights thought they had the turnover, went the other way, went right through their hands and into the basket.
And that's just another one of those things where it's like, it's unfortunate and you feel like there's nothing you can do about it, but another thing that's leading to the Knights why they've been down.
Offensive foul on Amos. Knights quickly have 3 fouls here in the second.
And it seems like every single time the Knights have tried to build some momentum here, Bryant and Stratton immediately gets it back.
And Bob takes it all the way. No foul call there. Gosh, that was a tough one.
Definitely questionable. It looked like she did get her hand on the ball, but it also looked like there was some contact there. But it'll remain Knights' ball, so at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing. The foul is not called there.
Except for the fact that we have to inbound it from our own end. And there's another turnover, and it's got a 2-on-1 here. All the way, Goodman with the bucket. They have got to figure something out about that.
I was saying it's not the end of the world that you get to keep the ball, but with the problems they've been having on the inbound, it is kind of a problem that we did not get the foul call there.
Knights trail by 11. Amos, the floater, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Knights have no answer here after making a little run at the end of the first quarter, have really gone ice cold here in the second. What ball movement there? Puts it on the floor, can't get it to go. Green the rebound. Both Robinson and Thomas on the bench, and Amos runs the point. Looks like one of the players got struck by the ball. But again, can the Knights figure something out here? Here comes Swinton. Maybe Swinton's going to try to set a screen here so we can get somebody open on this inbound pass. And they do. Yoder set the screen though. Green from the free throw line finally gets that first one to fall. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
Hopefully.
.239 left in the second. Knights trail by 9. Green, the steal.
I was about to say, there's definitely some time left in this quarter for the Knights to get themselves back in this game.
And nearly turns it over, but Amos keeps it. Can't get it to go. Amos keeps it again. Can't get that one to go. Green the rebound. Yes! Green, after struggling early, has now hit 2 consecutive baskets.
And that right there, again, as Coach Kane told me before the game was going to be key, offensive rebounds. Right there, 2 offensive rebounds on that one possession. Gets them the ball and gets them more chances to put things up. When you keep getting offensive rebounds, that's key to getting points on the board.
Amos. Roberts took the 3 ball back there. We just mentioned that she was 7 for 41, 17%. Wasn't even close on that shot. So again, that's the kind of shots that we need to force the Bryant and Stratton into taking.
Definitely. Because they definitely have not been the best three-point shooting team. So when you can force them to shoot those shots on the perimeter, they're going to make a couple, but it's better than them beating us with shots on the baseline.
Thomas the floater gets the Knights back to within 5 with 1:45 left here in the second. And this is the time, if the Knights want to stay in this game, they got to do it.
Definitely need to get a stop here.
And Roberts fires again, and this time connects. Roberts having about 12 points a game. Yoder puts it on the floor. Looks like not the shot that she was hoping for.
Yeah, definitely rushed that one a little bit. Just thought she had something open, and it was not the case.
The loose ball, and the Knights can't come up with it. Number 5, Millington. And there's another turnover. They were within 5, and now it could be double digits. And Roberts from downtown, no good. Again, that's the shot we want them to take. Here's where I slow it down and try to get a 2-for-1. Bub, Knights ball, 23. They still have time to get a 2-for-1 here. And try to keep this close. What can they do here? Inside to Yoder, nice pass. Those are the types of plays we need to make.
Yes, that was very well set up because the last play we saw Yoder set the screen for Swinton to get into the corner. That time, Swinton set the screen again, but this time the defender kind of like lost pressure on her, left Yoder wide open for the inbound and easy layup.
White McConnell, nice up and under, couldn't get it to go, and Swinton heads up play. And the Knights have possession with 30 seconds left. This is where I take it all the way down and set up a nice 2 to get within 5, but doesn't seem like the Knights are going to do that. Again, no Robinson or Thomas on the floor right now, which is surprising to say the least. Looking down inside to Yoder. He's going to get the foul call on number 13, Willis. Pardon me, they're calling that on Anderson. Still 15 seconds left here on the clock. Yoder struggling from the foul line today. Does make that one, and Knights trail by 6, 36-30. Taking a 30-second timeout.
Students, it's hard to study when you're hungry. The College Pantry can help. Central Penn College and your Student Government Association committed to ensuring that all of our CPC Knights have access to food when they need it. Requests are kept anonymous and can be submitted online. Look for the link under the links section of Student Central or contact Lindsay Garber, Director of Housing and Residence Life at lindsay.garber@centralpenn.edu.
And what's interesting about the college pantry, Dalton, is it's very easy to do, and it's all discreet. No one else has to know if it's something that you're being concerned about. And hey, free food.
That I will
Especially
always
coming into finals.
Yes, always will take free food. Can't be free.
Well, if the Knights can somehow hold here and get to within 2 possessions, you'd have to say that that's a win. So they got behind in the early parts of each quarter, only to turn it around and make something happen here with some turnovers.
Yes, especially when they were all big as down as double digits. The fact that you brought it back to a 2-point possession, you seemingly have some semblance of momentum on your side going into half. That's definitely going to be key. And hopefully the Knights can come back out with that momentum till the second half.
And they had a shot. That is no good. The Knights had a shot there, but essentially turned it over. 36-30. We're going to leave this first half here. But before we take a quick break for halftime, Dalton, I mean, what are the keys? What do the Knights have to do to come back and be victorious here in this all-important contest?
I think definitely keep the pressure on the defensive side. As we saw late in the quarter there, they were definitely forcing some ill-advised shots from Bryant and Stratton. As we mentioned, they're not the best three-point shooting team, so just keep forcing them to shoot threes, keep them out of the baseline, keep them around for the basket. That'll be key. And on the offensive side, obviously inbounding has been a problem. They seem to have a little bit of play there when they have someone set a screen and they get someone in the corner or under the basket, and just get ball movement, force good shots, don't force shots, and that'll be key for getting the Knights back in this game and hopefully coming out with a win.
And keep working on the inbound on your own end. The last 2 possessions were fantastic, but prior to that they had 4 consecutive turnovers. You cannot have those. All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back here about 10-minute break, back here about a minute before we go live here for the second half to talk about some keys to victory here for the Lady Knights. Until then, we will see you. Ball. Miller and Dalton Koller back here for the Nightly News Media Club. We are here. Lady Knights trail 36-30 to Bryant and Stratton Buffalo. Wanted to check in real quick with the CentralPennKnights.com scoreboard for the Knights. Ahnae Robinson leads the way with 10 points and does also have 3 rebounds. After getting shut out in the first quarter, Yoder has 7 and 7, though 1 of 4 from the line. Sydney Green, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. On the other side, Bryant and Stratton, 9 points for Sage Roberts, 8 for Ashlyn Johnson, and 2 rebounds, and 5 for Denise Willis. Shy Ism, one of the best players coming into this game, drew 2 quick fouls. Didn't see her again at all in the second quarter. So that's one thing that we do want to do is keep her off the floor.
And I think the reason why she was kept off the floor is because she had 2 fouls right back to back, and the coach wanted to limit her from getting into foul trouble. That's something that the Knights might have to do because already Allison Yoder with 3 fouls. So that's definitely something that we are going to have to keep a look on here in the second half.
I would also say, though, Dalton, in a previous game, Yoder drew some fouls, but Coach King didn't mind letting her out there.
Yeah, definitely. That's just because when that game, there was a player on the Penn State Lehigh Valley team that was just absolutely dominating in the paint, getting rebounds, those second chance looks, layups, could not be stopped. So we had to get that bigger force out there to try and limit her. And even still, when we had them out there, still could not be stopped.
The Knights do have the ball. Down 2 possessions. And quickly into Amos. Off the screen, Robinson to Amos from downtown. That would have been huge. And Ism gets the rebound. Up ahead to Roberts. Can't get it to go. 21, White McConnell follows it up. And they strike first, do Bryant and Stratton here in the second half of the third quarter.
Also have Amos coming up a little bit limpy down the court onto that play, so hopefully she's all right.
I would say, Dalton, I did see her at the trainer table earlier, so I don't know if that's connected.
Yeah, it looks like she's favoring her left leg a little bit. Hopefully she's okay.
You could say that. Jump ball, and it goes back to Bryant and Stratton. Quickly, after 40 seconds, Yoder to the bench. Going to put Ahnae Robinson at the 5 position, and they got Bub inside on Ism, and that's a mismatch, but good defense. And Ism right back at it, and gets the bucket.
And there we go, the lack of the defensive rebounding, and lets them get a second chance. That's something that needs to be a factor for the night. They need, if they can just, even though they're undersized, it's going to be tough. If they can find a way to win the rebound battle, that'll be huge for them here in the second half.
Amos baseline inside to Robinson, and it's a turnover. Seems like exactly what's happened the first 2 quarters. Knights get off to a slow start and have to claw their way back. Double-digit lead. I mean, at what point does the time run out?
I think the problem is, I think they're just pressing a little bit too much. They're trying to be perfect. You're not going to play perfect. Mistakes are going to happen, but just slow it down. Don't try to, force stuff. Take your time. Let the play develop. That'll be something that they need to do.
Roberts with the 3 ball after missing 3 in a row. I'm going to call a 5-second violation. And another turnover. Gosh, as great as they played in this back end of that second quarter, they have not here in the third.
There's definitely some miscommunication going on, both on the offensive and defensive side.
White McConnell puts it up. And the Knights trail by a game-high 15. Amos fakes the shot. And a pull-up jumper, and they're going to get, Amos will go to the line for 2. Had Bub wide open for 3, passed on the dish, but does get to go to the line. Yoder and Swinton back. Green and Thomas check out. This would be the big lineup that they would have with Bub and Robinson in addition to Yoder and Swinton. First time Green has come off the floor today. Amos makes the first. Sinks number 2. 2 clutch free throws there, Dalton.
Definitely for sure. Definitely needed those.
Ism had somebody on the outside. Bub got in the way of the pass. Johnson puts it on the floor, goes inside, draws the foul, and hope it's not against Yoder. Looks like it'll be on Swinton. 7:32 left, 45-32. Knights trail by 13. And Johnson makes the shot, 65% from the free throw line this year, 13 of 20 coming into today. And makes them both. Got to get her going again. She showed some flashes in the first half. Going inside to Yoder on Ism. That's a tough shot. And they have 2 people out in front. And the lead extends to 17.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anybody on this team that's going to be able to shoot over someone like Ism, who's, again, as I mentioned, the tallest person on the court. So kind of another ill-advised shot there from the Knights.
3 ball from Bub, no good. Ism the rebound. And now they got a 4-on-3. From downtown is Roberts. The air ball, but doesn't matter. White McConnell comes up with the rebound and the putback. And now we're getting into dire territory here. Dalton, the Knights trailing by 19.
And it just seems like Knights are playing very tentatively. They're just playing from behind. They're trying to get something going, and they just cannot do it.
Yoder on the travel. Another turnover for the Knights. If it's me, I'm calling a timeout right here.
I definitely would as well. But that's maybe why we're up here and not down there.
Yes, of course. I take nothing away from Coach King. She obviously knows what she's doing. I do notice they don't call nearly as many timeouts as they do in certainly the NBA. Ism the turnaround jumper. Still can't come up with a rebound. White McConnell, the rebound is played huge here in the second. And the Knights are in serious danger of going 0-4 here at home. Well, as we look ahead, the Lady Knights will be back here against Centenary on Thursday, December 7th. So 6 days from today, we will be back here with you. Centenary at 8 o'clock. This is the last doubleheader of the first half of the season. 2 more single games. Robinson with a double team. To Thomas, back to Robinson. From way downtown, what a shot. Right on cue. 16 points, and the Knights still trail even after that 3-point shot. And Ism, they're just making it too easy for him.
And it seemed like at one point the defensive Knights were running. They were almost kind of swarming Ism and leaving other players open. That one right there, it seemed like she had a pretty easy time just going right down and shooting the floater up for the easy shot.
Swinton tried to go baseline, and Green can't get that one to fall.
And that's just a tough break for Green, and bounced around the rim. Thought it was going to go in. Unfortunately, it did not.
And Bryant and Stratton running away with this is Ashlyn Johnson, the team's leading scorer. Puts another 2 down. 20-point deficit here for the Knights. Thomas, the floater, can't get that to go. Ism, the rebound, and now I think you're really seeing the second half, the impact of Ism.
Definitely, for sure.
Break there for the Knights, dribbled off her foot, did number 1, Goodman.
But as you mentioned, Ism has been an absolute force in this third quarter. On defense, rebounding, layups, shooting. She's been absolutely massive for Bryant and Stratton. It's a big reason why they've pulled away to a 20-point lead.
Amos has Bub down low. Ism the block. And way ahead. And they're going to get the bucket and the foul. And this is the exact opposite of what the Knights were hoping coming out of the halftime break.
Definitely. And it seems like, once again, it's a couple times we've seen that so far here in this third quarter. Ism gets the defensive rebound and has someone down on the outlet pass, streaking down the court for a layup, either a layup or a foul. That right there, they got both.
Roberts can't connect, but Bryant and Stratton still leads by 22. Robinson, big offensive rebound, but throws it away. This has just been a near disaster in every facet of the game for the Knights here in the second half.
Yeah, coming into the second half, the Knights definitely did have a little bit of momentum on their side. I think it was definitely still leaning Bryant and Stratton, but now it is all Bryant and Stratton here in the third quarter.
And I will tell you, they just do not have an answer for Chisholm.
They do not.
And the travel on Ahnae Robinson. And Robinson was not pleased about that call, nor should you be.
Again, as I mentioned, when you're down by such a big deficit, every single time you give the team the ball back, and it really does get in the player's head, and it does frustrate them because it's like every single chance we try to get back in this game, something goes not our way, and we just can't get anything going.
With Yoder and Swinton on the bench, Chisholm has dominated this game on both sides of the ball. And Bub throws the turnover to Giles.
Very well read by Giles there. Knew that Bub was looking for the pass to the top of the key. Easily steals it. Steals right down the court for an easy fast break layup. The Central Penn College app was designed with students in mind. The app brings the school to your fingertips and enables you to connect with the Central Penn community. Stay on top of your events, classes, and assignments with a built-in calendar function, and get notified of important dates, deadlines, and security announcements. Make friends, ask questions, and access campus resources at any time. Search Central Penn College in the App Store.
And just an absolute disaster here. Worst case scenario here for the Knights. And we'll go and check in at our CentralPennKnights.com scoreboard. Ahnae Robinson with 13 points and 4 rebounds. But no other scores in double digits. On the other side, Sage Roberts, 14 points. Ashlyn Johnson with 12. White McConnell and Ism with 9. And Ism with 6 rebounds. White McConnell with 10. Knights only shooting 31% from the field. 13 of 41 Dalton. On the bright side, Bryant and Stratton only shooting 14% from 3, but the Knights, Dalton, 24 turnovers.
Yep, that's what I was just about to mention on the team stats. Double as many turnovers as Bryant and Stratton, which is why they're down almost as double amount of points. I mean, the math checks out. If you have double the amount of possessions, you're going to most likely have double the amount of points. It's tough for a defense to try to compete and try and, hold an offense when they're giving the ball back so much of the time.
Can the Knights do something here to get this game close? Yoder looking for some help, tries to go inside to Green. Green has just been so close to the basket and just can't get it to go. Here's another situation, just like you said, the outlet pass from Ism. Looks like Green got poked in the eye. seems to be okay, but getting poked in the eye is never fun.
Definitely not.
Club looking for some help. Amos inside to Yoder. And another turnover.
And it just seems like the Knights have no option, no answer for this Bryant and Stratton defense. They can't, even though they try to move the ball or they force a shot, nothing is going their way on the offensive side.
Millington in the basket there for Bryant and Stratton. And Robinson, nice play. It's been a while since the Knights have scored. This is only 7 points in this quarter to nearly 30 for Bryant and Stratton.
Yeah, I would say another definite problem for the Knights on the offensive side. They're not really generating points with ball movement or, nice plays, pick and rolls, give and goes, anything like that. It's literally almost either one person just storming down and getting a layup, driving the lane, or free throws. That seems like how we're getting most of our points. And when that's the case, that's not really a recipe for success.
And Amos makes the first. We had mentioned earlier she hadn't been to the line this year, but perfect thus far today. And as soon as I say that, although the Knights do retain possession here,
I think we might just be one big jinx on the broadcast today.
I certainly hope not. And here's an inbound on their own side. She had Bob open, did hit Robinson there, but that was a little too close for comfort there as well. Trying the ISO into Yoder, Robinson the rebound. Robinson's been really impressive today. We got to give her a lot of credit.
And that was a really good move. Got the rebound and just ducked right under. Nice move, nice play there, nice finish by Robinson.
Like Yoder's looking for help down low on Ism. Kicks it out to Giles. And they're going to get Roberts for the travel. And a turnover there for the Knights.
I mean, you saw right there when Ism got the ball, she took Allison Yoder directly into the post, and she was almost shoving her to the basket.
You made an amazing point. Amos really struggling to get around here. It doesn't seem like it's really affected her too much. I suppose at this point in the season, everybody's got a couple games.
Oh, for sure.
Amos can't handle a pass from Robinson.
Yeah, and I also think that pass is just a tiny bit off the mark. Now, again, it's kind of tough when you have someone that's in the physical state that Amos is in. It's kind of tough to get in position there. Just another costly turnover for the Knights.
Looks like Amos was pulled out of the game and going to see the trainer. Inside to Ism, the quick double team. Now they have two people open on the wing. And can't get it, but Ism, an easy rebound. And Robinson comes up with it.
That might have been the first time.
Looking for Green. Yoder, no love. What were you saying?
I was about to say, that might have been the first time I saw Ism get an offensive rebound and not get a layup on the second attempt. That might be the first time I've seen that happen tonight.
Knights trail by 25 as we down to 30 seconds here in the third quarter, 65-40. And definitely not the second half the Knights were looking for. They were in it coming into the second half, but Green still can't get it to go. The rebound misses again. Green has really struggled. And they're going to get Green on the foul as Roberts goes to the line.
Yeah, and I think the big reason why this third quarter has been just so tragic for the Knights is because I feel like they just lost a lot of their aggression. They, all both on the offensive and defensive side, can't get anything on the offensive side, turning the ball over so many times, a lot of wide open looks, not getting a lot of rebounds. It's just basically been going all wrong for the Knights here in the third quarter. It's the reason why they're down 25.
Roberts sinks the second. 66-40. Knights do have enough time to get off a decent shot here, hopefully. 4 seconds, 3, 2. They need to put it up, and they don't even get a shot off. And those are the things that's just a mental mistake. I mean, yes, the Bryant and Stratton's played good defense, but you gotta get a shot off.
Yeah, I mean,
10 seconds.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. Definitely a mental error.
Just not being aware of how much time is left on the clock. What else could it be?
There's nothing else. I mean, just as a whole in that third quarter, they were behind only by 6 points, which is not a lot, but they were playing like they were down 15. They were just way too tentative, not developing anything. They were just seemed like they were not attacking. They were almost defensive on the offensive side, which is just never a good sign.
Central Penn College Student Government Association is a voice for all students. Those living on campus, those studying online, and those returning to continue their education. SGA is here to make your time at Central Penn College the best experience possible. You can contact SGA with any comments or questions by emailing sga@centralpenn.edu. Well, 10 minutes left, starting the fourth quarter here, and 66-40. The Knights way behind. Let's hope they can at least make it a respectable game and work on some of the issues they've had, because, gosh, they're staring down the barrel of 0-4 here at home on the season and a 4-4 overall record. As well as Robinson's played, and maybe to a lesser extent Yoder. And another turnover. There really just hasn't been a whole lot of other contribution from anyone else other than outside of Yoder and Robinson.
No, I mean, it's tough when... It's obviously going to be tough to win games when you have so many people that are just not having their best nights. Not saying that players individually are playing poorly, it's just not a lot of things are going our way tonight.
And that's actually something that we noted on Sunday and even during the last game against Lehigh Valley, was that the Knights have just generally been unlucky. Bounces not going their way, questionable calls against them and for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough, but at some point, you also have to realize that, yes, you do have those unlucky breaks, but at certain times, I would even say that Bryant and Stratton has also had not their fair share, but they've also had their own, things not go their way, but they've still found a way to overcome that.
And there's a good example of what we were just talking about. Should have easily been a turnover for the Knights. Went right through the hands, into the hands of Bryant and Stratton for a bucket.
And even then, not only that turnover that should have been stolen, but also there was no one there to get the defensive rebound.
Robinson's taking on the entire team at this point. And it's great to see Robinson playing well, but somebody else needs to step up in terms of scoring for the Knights. Bud had a nice three earlier from way outside. Amos has gotten to the line. Yoder's had a solid contest. Green had a couple baskets in a row. Thought that would get her going, but she has gone 0 for since. And this has just got to be a tough way to leave this game. It's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Definitely, for sure.
And inside, the bucket there for number 21, White. McConnell's had a heck of a game here. Double-digit rebounds, as we mentioned, coming into this quarter. An errant pass, but remains Knight ball. The one thing I was really hoping to see, 2 years ago in Sydney Bub, the Nightly News Player of the Year, she just hasn't found that scoring groove that she had back in that campaign over the last 2 seasons.
No, and I think a big part of her game during that year was her three-point shooting ability. She was absolutely lights out from three. Every single time she got the ball on the perimeter, you knew she was putting up, and she more often than not was making it.
And interestingly enough, coming into this game, she had only attempted 13 threes in 6 games. Robinson from deep, can't get it to go, and they've got somebody wide open. Yoder takes the charge. Unfortunately, that's not number 4 on Yoder. Knights trail 72-44 with 7:51 left here in this contest.
But yeah, this is the point where you're down by this money. I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much over. There is no way that the Knights are coming back. So now it's just working on what you need to do to improve at home, because they have struggled so mightily at home. They just need to get something going.
Thomas, the floater won't go, but it will remain Knights ball. Here's another inbound in their own end, in which they've had 6 turnovers on this exact play. Something I'm sure they will be working on. And they do get it into Robinson. The shot off. And they've got numbers going the other way. And you can't have that happen. Dana Anderson with the bucket. Knights trail by 30, though.
Definitely not where you want to be.
This honestly, though, again, this is only the 4th game that we have called for the Lady Knights this year. But to me, this is extremely similar to what we've seen. Play tough, play close in it, play in solid games, and then in the first half, and then the second half, it's like it all falls apart.
Yeah, that's definitely need to be something that needs to be addressed, because it just seems like, yes, they do play close, and even though they were down going into half, they were only down 6, had a lot of momentum, and then they just, I think the big thing what's happening with this Knights team is that when they have a couple mistakes, they let it mount, and they let it build, and then it creates a big snowball, and then you start to see everything unravel, as we have in this game.
You could see how exasperated Yoder was, looking for someone to throw the ball to, took a 5-second violation. Block from Robinson! Going ahead to Amos! And does get the foul call. What a block by Robinson.
Yeah, I will say, even though it has not necessarily been the Knights, not necessarily the game they were looking for, but Robinson has definitely been one of the bright spots here tonight for Central Penn.
Amos to the line and sinks that one. Dalton now 29 turnovers, 30. The deficit now, points off of turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not going to have a game where you have 0 turnovers. It's obviously not going to happen. But even if you cut those turnovers in half, you said there was 30 points off of turnovers. Just say hypothetically, if you take half those turnovers away, half the points go away, down 15. You're still only, it's more manageable. And that's definitely something that needs to be addressed. The amount of turnovers for this Knights team, it's just absolutely killing them every single time. All 4 times we've been out here, they've been in the 20s in turnovers, and that's 100% not a recipe for success.
74-46, they're double checking. I did see that they added to the visitor and not the home team. It's now 28-point deficit. And from downtown, no good. And Robinson pushes, has Yoder. And she's going to take it all away. Can't quite get that one to go. You can see she's still playing with fire. disrupts the shot. And Amos, a big rebound after the miss there from Dana Anderson. Robinson looking for Thomas. From downtown, no good. Not sure what the call is here. .46, 6:12 left. Paul Miller, Dalton Koller here for the Nightly News. We will be here every home game, either at the middle school or the high school. You can always check out centralpennknights.com for more information, the schedule, and where we will be. All games are free. Can't beat that. And Bub goes for the steal. Knocks it out of bounds. Still Bryant and Stratton ball.
Even still, when you're down this big, you still like to see your players showing effort, showing hustle. That's definitely something that's a very good sign here for the Knights.
Ism, the turnaround jumper, and she has just been out of her mind here in the second half.
Yeah, an absolute force for Bryant and Stratton.
Bub from downtown. Exactly what you were talking about earlier. It's almost like we know what we're talking about.
Maybe, just a little bit. Maybe just from watching these games as many times as we have, I think we have a little bit of knowledge to this team and what they can do when everything's going their way.
The three ball no good, and then just left there for Ism. And again, just another sense of a situation where the ball just didn't bounce their way, literally.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when stuff like that happens, but I mean, the thing is, we know what this team can do, we know what they're capable of. It's just when they eventually get things going, they start to have more things go their way with a little bit of luck on their side. This team can do great things.
That's going to be 4 on Yoder. I'm assuming that they're just going to leave her in, though. With the Knights trailing by 29. .505 left. Ill-advised shot there, but an offensive rebound from Millington. And the hook shot. Hartfield with only her 4th point on the season. Inside Swinton, good bucket. Types of plays that we'd like to see. 80-51.
Yeah, and the way they're playing right now is definitely the way we want to see them play going forward. I mean, simply put, I would say, like, for all the games we've covered this year for the Knights, it seems like the first quarter they get off to a slow start, but they bring it back. Second quarter, they really bring it back and almost either take the lead, tie it, or get all the momentum back. And then the third quarter is just tragic. That third quarter has been absolutely killer for the Knights this year. So if they can figure out what's going on with their third quarter struggles, this team will have a very good chance of going very far this year.
I gotta point that out. Bub showing the ref a red mark on her arm from where she was hit, didn't get the call. But again, speaks to what we're talking about here. They're just not getting the calls that they need to even stay in the game. Of course, today I think it was much more of a turnover issue and having issues inbounding the ball on their own end. But gosh, I mean, they certainly haven't been lucky either.
No, they definitely have not. And that's another common theme that we've seen with the other games, the other home games that we've covered this year. Just not a lot of things going their way, and it's hard to deal with that, especially when you're going up against the quality of teams that they have been playing at home. Obviously, Bryant and Stratton's a very good team. Penn State Lehigh Valley was a very good team. Berkeley was a good team. It's kind of tough to battle back when you're having so little things go your way.
.30 deficit here the Knights face with 3:52 left here in the final quarter. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break after this contest has concluded, and we will be back here with the men's game for you. And Green does get that bucket to fall. If we're going to be successful and make a run here in the second half, it's got to be Sydney Green who gets it going. Another basket there for Bryant and Stratton. And the lead back to 30, and Bub from downtown. She must have heard you from the floor.
He might have.
Still not a bad shot there. I don't know that I've ever seen a team more excited for a basket. And there's a steal. It's 5-on-3. Good D by Bub. Green comes up with the rebound. They're going to call that a jump ball. See, that's a tough one. And it remains Bryant and Stratton ball. Looks like they don't have any problems inbounding on their own side. Went glass on that one for the 3-ball. And gosh, this game has gotten away from the Knights quicker. Green makes that shot. 88-53.
And I will say the Knights offense has definitely looked a lot better here in this fourth quarter as opposed to the third quarter. Where seemingly as if they couldn't get anything going in the third quarter, this fourth quarter, even though it might have something to do with the fact that Bryant and Stratton's playing a little bit less aggressively on the defensive side, but the offense for the Knights have definitely looked a lot better here in the fourth quarter.
Did you know that Central Penn College doesn't charge any type of fee for application? It's absolutely free. Just go to our website, centralpenn.edu, to apply. Just over 2 minutes left. Knights trail by 33. That's gotta be a travel. Indeed it is. Be a long ride home, but it'll be a happy one for Bryant and Stratton. At least the women. Amos from downtown gets the foul call, and Amos will go to the line for 3 as Coach King helps Amos up. One interesting thing I've noticed about Coach King, this is now the 3rd or possibly 4th women's coach we've had since we've been calling games. And I would say that Coach King definitely has a different style than some of our previous coaches, let's just say.
Definitely, for sure. In the couple of conversations I've had with Coach King, she seems like a very nice lady, very caring, very much so for her players. Not to say that the other coaches haven't been, but I would definitely say that Coach King is definitely very supportive of her players.
Very calm on the bench.
For sure.
Doesn't get excited, I don't know that I've ever seen her yell. And again, previous coaches, wasn't necessarily the case. But hey, everybody's got their own style, and that's okay.
For sure, without a doubt.
Just making an observation. Amos from the line has been locked in today. As we come down to 2 minutes, we're going to take a final look at the CentralPennKnights.com live stats. For Bryant and Stratton, Sage Roberts with 15 points, and 15 and 12 for White McConnell. 13 and 10 for Ism, and Ashlyn Johnson contributes 12. For the Knights, Ahnae Robinson, 21 points, 8 rebounds. For Robinson, Amos, 10 points on 8 from 11 shooting, though Amos only 1 of 7 from the floor. Sydney Green, 8 points, 8 rebounds, but only 4 of 13 from the floor. Yoder contributes 7 and 9, while Bub 7, 5 and 3 for the Knights. But gosh, the Knights are going to have to do something here. Not only, they didn't really do poorly against the press, Dalton, because they didn't run the press.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a very different defensive look to what the women's team has seen the last couple games of the full court press. And I don't know if it caught them off guard or what happened, but I mean, just again, the turnovers have been absolutely catastrophic for the Knights offense tonight.
149. And Green comes up with the steal. Tries to go coast to coast, but is blocked by Giles. And again, they have somebody way ahead of the play. What a play by Blendman. 90-57. From downtown, no good. And the rebound by Millington. Throws it out of bounds, though. With 1:09 remaining, the Knights trail by 33. And certainly a game that they were, I don't want to say you want to forget, because you always want to continue to improve.
No, definitely, for sure. And I think going back to what I mentioned before the game, where Coach King, her 3 keys to the game she had. Obviously, one was defensive stops. And I will say, on possessions where they didn't have turnovers and were having to defend a fast break, I would say the defense did pretty solidly tonight. They definitely had some lapses, lack of communication a couple times, but for the most part, the defense played pretty well. With rebounding, they were neck and neck with Bryant and Stratton, which is definitely something you want to see, especially when you're undersized, which is definitely something big. And then the last thing was crashing the rim. There was definitely a lot of aggression early for the Knights on the offensive side, just driving the lane and getting the buckets, and it seemed like it was falling their way, but then late into the game, it just seemed like when they were being aggressive on the offensive side, they just couldn't get it to fall.
36 seconds here. Robinson comes up with the rebound. Ahnae Robinson, the nightly news player of the game. In the losing effort. And Robinson will finish today's game with 23 points, 10 rebounds on 9 of 16 shooting. Well, Dalton, the first half was quite interesting. The second half, not quite the way the Knights would have hoped, and they're going to lose this contest 92-59. What do we have to say?
I think if you can find a way to not have the third quarter be so, how do I put this, one-sided. It's so lopsided, the fact that it seemed like everything went Bryant and Stratton's way, both on the offensive and defensive side. If you can find a way to have that third quarter not be so killer going forward, I think this Knights team will be very solid, because all the first half they played amazing. Fourth quarter, I know they were fighting back from a big deficit, but they played very well. So just find a way to limit the turnovers, find a way to limit all the bad stuff, and I think this Knights team has the potential to go very far this year.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to go down to the floor with Ahnae Robinson here momentarily. Give us a moment to get set up on the floor, and we will see you there in just a moment. All right, thank you to Nightly News Player of the Game, Ahnae Robinson. A wonderful game for her, not so much for the Knights. We are going to sign off here. Thank you so much to Paul Miller, Dalton Koller, and Kevon Davis, our producer. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.